We are all surrounded by risk and unplanned events. No one knows what will happen next, and so no one prays for unpleasant things to happen to them. Unlike most stories about amusement park rides malfunctioning, this one was quite different. Even though there was no malfunction, a severe accident still occurred, costing an already paraplegic man his legs. It was the start of summer, and family and friends would typically spend this month basking in the sun's rays while attending outdoor events. The 10th of August 2019 was no exception, as the weather was nice, clear, and bright, and people trooped in and out of Great Adventure Park with their loved ones. Davis and his 4 friends were among the many people looking for fun, but they didn't know that the bright, sunny day was just a cover for the dark, looming event that would haunt them for the rest of their lives and leave one of them with permanent scars. It was a terrible accident that cost a paraplegic man his legs and the park $75,000 in damages. What happened on that fantastic Saturday afternoon that made the news and caused a commotion in the town? Who would have thought something like this would happen, and what did this event lead to? This is the tragic story of Lester Davis, a paraplegic who trusted the Joker ride with his helpless leg. The Joker at Great Adventure is one of the 4 Joker thrill rides located at theme parks leased, owned, operated, managed, controlled, and/or possessed by Six Flags across the United States. People from around the town loved spending time there with their loved ones, and Davis was no exception. Lester Davis had paraplegia, T2 paraplegia to be precise, and was a citizen of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, living in an apartment in Philadelphia. He was a fun and outgoing person who didn't let his condition deprive him of happiness in life. As a result of this nature, he was a frequent patron of Great Adventure and regularly went on rides. Due to these routine visits, he was known and loved by the employees there. He made it a habit to ride the rides that were only safe for him whenever he arrived at Six Flags, going straight to the guest relations office to let them know that he was wheelchair-bound and paraplegic so they could provide the necessary information about rides for people in his condition. One of the more peculiar things about Six Flags Great Adventure is that they claim to work closely with the manufacturer of each ride and to incorporate the manufacturer's guidelines into their policies in order to provide guests with a safe, comfortable, and convenient experience while visiting the amusement park. This promise gives riders the confidence they need to ride at whichever attractions they want. On the 10th of August 2019, the sky was clear and blue, and it appeared to be a good day to have fun at a park. Davis and 4 of his friends decided to go to Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson to have fun, as visiting the park was familiar to them. When they got to the New Jersey park, they collected their pre-purchased tickets and were excited to enjoy their favorite rides. However, they had no idea what was looming ahead. After entering the amusement park that day, Davis went to the guest relations office, as he always did, to inquire about safe rides and pick up a pass that afforded him special accommodations due to his paraplegia. This is something he does every time he visits the park. Davis liked the Joker ride and decided to ride it despite the fact that the Great Adventure Accessibility Guide states that riders of the Joker must have 2 functioning legs that include the knee and are free of prosthetic devices. He went to the guest relations office and asked the employees there if the Joker was safe for him to ride. He was told that it was indeed safe and appropriate for him to do so. He was delighted to hear this and proceeded to enjoy his time, but a great mistake was made which he would be forever forced to live with. Great Adventure failed to provide Davis with any additional warnings, instructions, information, or advice concerning his ability to go on the Joker, despite knowing of his medical condition and physical disability. They didn't think anything bad would happen to him, so they broke the rules. After leaving the guest relations office, Davis and his friends were excited to ride the Sky Screamer and King Ka rides without any problems. The day seemed to be going well for them, so they went to the Joker, where they got in line and made their way forward. His friends let him join them, but when they reached the ride, an attendant told them that his wheelchair would have to navigate a high curb for him to gain access to the entry area. This was no biggie for the adventurous friends, so they lifted the wheelchair over the curb and into the ride entryway. Davis was still unsure about the Joker while he waited for his turn to board, so he asked a ride operator if it was safe for a person with paraplegia to ride. To Davis's surprise, the operator told him that it was his first day working and that he didn't know how it worked, how safe it was, or what to do for a person with paraplegia. The ride operator checked for any public warnings or instructions for riders with paraplegia, but none were displayed at or near the attraction's entry location, nor anywhere along the route that the line takes to get to the Joker. Finally, it was Davis's turn to embark on the ride. He entered one of its 5 cars with a thrill of excitement and a bit of anxiety, but the adventurous side to him quashed the rising tension within him. Unfortunately, the attendants and operators of the ride completely forgot to restrain his legs before he rode. As they weren't used to seeing people who were paralyzed from the waist down ride that particular attraction, they didn't think to restrain his legs. The only restraints that were on the devices were a shoulder bar and a waist restraint. The ride's operators and workers didn't give him any extra safety harnesses, so his legs were free to move while he was sitting in the vehicle. For those who are unfamiliar with how the Joker operates, it begins by mounting a 120-foot vertical rise before moving into a sharp drop and accelerating in velocity along a track with a change in direction as well as backward and forward flips. During operation, the cars spin freely due to factors such as gravity and rider weight. On this particular day, the ride started out moving slowly, as it usually does, but quickly picked up speed. As it gained momentum, Davis could feel something wrong in his body, which gave him second thoughts about the whole endeavor. But the ride had already started, so he just silently wished for everything to go well until the end. Unfortunately, not all wishes come true, as the ride's dynamic forces caused his loose and unrestrained legs to flail wildly around the outside of the coaster and, at times, hit the restraint bar, causing several severe lower extremity fractures, including femur fractures. Davis screamed in pain, and his friends and workers ran to see what was going on. He was taken to the hospital right away. Thankfully, the Joker did not take his life, but he sustained serious injuries that will affect him for the rest of it. These include, but are not limited to, severe and long-lasting pain and suffering, emotional misery, mental agony, loss of enjoyment of life and its pleasures, and a severe loss of earnings from a decline in the ability to earn. A negligence suit was filed for more than $75,000 in damages. As unfortunate as it is, Six Flags knew, or should have known, that the Joker would hurt Davis, and even if they didn't, there should have been protocols to follow for such situations. If only his legs had been restrained, perhaps things would have gone differently. And sadly, Davis was not the only victim. At other Six Flags parks in 2005 and 2010, paraplegic visitors had pretty much the same injuries. After this, Six Flags Great Adventure closed 4 rides because of safety problems, which caused 3 more people to be injured enough to go to the hospital. But this would not be the end of the notorious Joker.